text. Too many parents are failing to get the help they need following the death of a child, according to a charity which is trying to provide practical and emotional support for bereaved families.
Yes, it claims at least 32,000 people are waiting for counselling in Leeds alone, and fears many more don't know where to turn when the worst happens. Lisa Adlam has been to meet one couple who were helped by the charity and are now doing all they can to support its work with others. We should say you may find some parts of this report upsetting.
For Rachel and Matt Cheshire, the sorrow of losing their baby daughter Lilia at birth will always be with them.
They used the machine to try and find a heartbeat and they couldn't find one. We didn't really have too much time to process it because I was so far through labour. I just had to kind of get on with it.
The couple, who live in Monk Fryston near Selby, had the support and love of their families to help them through the very worst. But they say the lack of professional help on offer when they left hospital was a shock.
I think the thing that, was quite hard is the fact that you are just then given some leaflets. You're given a lovely box with a few items in, some teddies and candles and that kind of thing, but essentially you're given some leaflets and sent home without your child.
Whilst you see everybody else wandering down the corridor, leaving hospital, it's like anything, the minute something happens, you see 10 times that in front of your face. So no, I mean, it was, for us, we were just then left at that point.
And that's where the Leeds-based charity Charlie's Angels Centre Foundation stepped in. Staffed entirely by volunteers, it was set up by Ruth Curtis and her family after her grandson Charlie died just 19 minutes after he was born. They too felt abandoned in the weeks that followed, and say thousands of parents are experiencing the same thing. Now they offer counselling sessions, helplines and support groups to plug that gap. The ultimate aim is to build a 24-hour centre, providing all aspects of care for bereaved families.
Most of our families can deal with counselling within a week, and that's what they need, and we don't have like a time limit on it as well. It's not you get 6 weeks and then it's bye-bye. It's as long as you need us, we're there. A lot of people we work with, they don't have anybody and they don't know how to get help. So for them, I can't even imagine how hard it must be just walking out of that hospital without your child.
In a statement today, a spokesman for the Department of Health said it was working to establish new national guidelines to guarantee better care for parents, adding that a review launched last year was seeking to improve wider support, training for staff, and how the NHS could improve access to gynaecological, maternity and bereavement care to help parents grieve. Now though, Rachel is organising a black tie event to be held in Leeds in March to raise money to help the Charlie's Angels Centre become a reality.
It's really important to us that this little charity who's working tooth and nail to help other couples gets the support that they need so that they can support other people.
You try and hand back and see what else we can do for them. They can help lots of people, and that can be our thank you.
And in the spirit of the charity's motto, to help other bereaved families rebuild their lives. Lisa Adlam, ITV News, Monk Fryston near Selby.
Well, a little earlier I spoke to the MP Kevin Hollin-Rake, whose parental leave and pay bill is due to become law next year, allowing bereaved parents to have paid time off. He's also supporting a pilot project across the country, ongoing in York, to improve support for parents. And I started by asking him to explain what that scheme is.
It's called the National Bereavement Care Pathway, which is a big description of something very fundamental, but very straightforward, but very important, which is really just good support for people who go through these terrible tragedies, whether that's a stillbirth or a neonatal death. And so it's about a bereavement maternity suite. So if you're on clearly a ward of expectant mothers or mothers who just had babies and you've lost your baby, that's a terrible thing to have to cope with. So these bereavement suites move the mother and father to one side so they can have some peace and away from all the normal stuff you get on a maternity ward, but also specialist midwives who understand what these people are going through, these parents are going through, and are able to support them through that process.
And as we saw in our report, Matt and Rachel, they felt that there wasn't enough support once they left the hospital. Will that improve?
Yes, it should do, and I think it's very important that we learn the lessons. It's great, this new initiative, it's really important. I mean, I was so impressed by what's happening at York District Hospital, so impressed by the care that's been taken and the empathy and the understanding. So it's a very good point that that couple have made, and we need to learn from that and make sure we develop best practice that we can roll out right across the National Health Service.
And at what stage is your bill now? When's it going to be heard?
Yes, 2020, it's all gone through Parliament, it's got royal assent. They're going through now the technical processes of making sure that the employment legislation is, that employers are aware of what's expected of them. So that takes until next year, but from next year, any parent who suffers, loses a child, who's bereaved by their children, then they'll have a legal right to have 2 weeks off from next year.
Okay, Kevin Hollinrake, MP for Molson and Firth, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And if you've been affected by any of the issues raised in Lisa's report, please head to our website itv.com/calendar for more help and advice.